Our mission of the McKinney Chamber, whether we're in COVID season or not, our mission has stayed the same. We want to lead, connect, and empower our stakeholders to advance business and community excellence, whether that's virtually or in person. We haven't stopped. Our vision is a globally competitive, vibrant community for our current generation, but also the future. We want to be building a strong community for the future. So a lot of our programs are community building, not just business building. Our values are servant leadership, collaboration, integrity, and empathy. And obviously during these times, that's more important than ever. Here's a little bit about our chamber by the numbers. We have a staff of 8. We work really hard to provide lots of services. We have 3 websites. When we started, we had 2 websites that we operated. Once we added the McKinney Back to Business, now we have 3 websites. And so McKinney Chamber is our kind of our basic chamber website, pretty traditional with a lot of business resources. We have a McKinney Online website you'll be learning about. And that's kind of a community news site. So it's helping get information out to the public. And it's great for companies that serve the public to utilize that, as well as any company to share with the community. And then in April, we launched our McKinney Back to Business. And in our first month of launch, we had 200,000 page views in the month of April. So really, robust website that's given great information, but it's still very relevant. As Wendy alluded to, things change all the time, but and you know, the news every day, you hear different things that we have to take into consideration for our health and our business needs. So hopefully you will take advantage of those 3 websites. Probably Keith, when Keith goes over, Keith King is our communications manager. We have over 20,000 followers on our social media. Our social media has really grown over the past year because we're doing so much more virtually, and also everyone is tuning into the information we're sharing. So we really leverage that. Our membership now, we're just below 1,300 members. We have lost some members. Some of our members, they've told us they're able to keep the lights on, they're able to pay their staff, but they're not able to do their membership right now, but hopefully next year they'll come back. And we certainly have had some members go out of business, but we're here to help keep everything going as much as possible, and hopefully look forward to a better 2021. We're the 3rd largest chamber in the Metroplex by number of members, and I think we're about 8th or 9th largest chamber by our revenue, because the new list just came out this month. We are in our 31st year of Leadership McKinney. It's an exceptional program. So you'll be hearing more about that. It launches in January this year. So those are just some of the statistics about the chamber. I alluded to our resources for helping businesses during the economic downturn and during the COVID-19. We have a very robust McKinney Back to Business page. I hope that you'll take advantage of it. You'll hear more about that. One of the first things we did, even the Sunday before, so if you guys remember mid-March, that Friday, it was like, okay, things aren't going well. COVID-19 is here. And the Sunday before we went back to work, actually, Keith King and I were on the phone talking about what things can we do to help our businesses. So we came up with the hashtag McKinney Strong as a suggestion, and basically it went citywide, and now you'll see it all over the city. Because we wanted to focus on how our community can overcome no matter what we face. So we had a support local campaign. We raised, I forget, over $20,000, probably close to $30,000 for our businesses and nonprofits, and we dispersed some of those funds. We work closely with the city on a One Heart McKinney initiative, and this is for community members that have needs, as well as businesses and community members that can share resources. So lots of great things that our city and our chamber have done to help our residents and our businesses at this time. We haven't skipped a beat with our programs. We have very strong virtual programs. Now we're starting to do some hybrid programs that I can share a little bit about. But I want to really make sure you're looking at the things that we have to offer right now for this last quarter, but also looking forward to 2021. So we're going to talk about some of the different programs and things like that, but always check our website so that you get the most up-to-date information. And Tammy, I'm going to ask you to start off with our ambassador program to share a little bit about that and maybe invite folks that might be interested to check it out for themselves as well.
Sure. So our chamber ambassadors, right now we have about 20. They're current McKinney Chamber members and business owners in the area. And what they do is they are an extension of the chamber. So they help us reach out to members every month. They each get a list of members that either have recently joined or that have a membership coming up in the near future, and they reach out to them. They just reconnect, make sure that they're, there isn't anything that maybe they're not utilizing something. Since they're also business owners, sometimes they can kind of talk more on a different kind of level than I can as staff to a business owner. They can maybe connect at a different level. And so it's a nice way for especially newer members and longtime members to just kind of reconnect, know that the chamber, we are here, we are available. There's only a few of us, so sometimes it's hard to call everybody, and the ambassadors help with that. They also used, before COVID, we were doing ribbon cuttings. Once we stopped that during COVID, we started doing some new member connection calls on Zoom. And it's been a great way for some of our newer members to get in front of our ambassadors now during this time and share their business. And then our ambassadors are able to share as they're talking to other members, since again, they're out there talking to members about the resources that are available from other members. So again, they are a great resource. There is a time commitment, of course. Once we do the new member connection calls twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then once ribbon cutting start up, we'll be driving to those locations and doing those again. So there is a time commitment, plus there's calls and follow-ups that they do. But if that's something that you would like to do, it's a great way to get in front of a bunch of members. If you have the time for that to commit, we have a great group. We're getting ready to kick off the new year with 2 new teams. We keep points and it gets a little competitive and it's a lot of fun. It's a great group. So if you're interested, I'll put my email in the chat and you can reach out to me.
Great. So when you when you get a call from one of our ambassadors, it's not a sales call. They're calling to help welcome you to the chamber. And then they also call to check in, kind of usually around month 9 or 10 to just check in and make sure you're taking advantage of things, remind you of things. And like Tammy said, it's more of a peer-to-peer interaction than like staff, because we are not always understanding what it's like in your shoes, what you're dealing with, but our ambassadors certainly do. So yeah, Tammy will be happy to get you involved in that. I talked a little bit about Leadership McKinney. It's a high quality leadership development program, but it's not just for your personal leadership development. It's also for community connections. So this year we shifted the timing. So now it's kind of follows the calendar year. So it starts in January, goes through October. So if you're interested, probably late summer, early fall, you'll start hearing about Leadership McKinney. We typically do an open house, but it's great for personal and professional development. It grows your relationships in the community, and it will definitely help your business for sure. And yes, Nadia, you'd be a great fit for leadership. You're already doing some great coaching with your clients, but if you really want to get connected and plugged into McKinney, it's a great opportunity. There is a cost to it. There are some scholarships. We do payment plans and things like that. But there's a whole page on our website about that. If you happen to be 40 and under, you are qualified for McKinney Young Professionals, which is a dynamic, exceptional group. It was started to, gosh, how many years ago, to keep young talent, keep, young professional talent here in McKinney, and engage them in the community. Now with so many new companies moving in, very vibrant program. They just finished a kind of a philanthropic initiative called Race for Embrace. They raised money for a foster care agency called Texas. So exceptional program. If you are 40 and under and want more information, we do have a website. Our president, Lisa Hermes, is overseeing that, but either Lisa or our Karen Ferris, who is our office manager, can help you with that. They do programs throughout the years, educational programs, personal, professional development, as well as just fun, kind of networking, usually some after hours when we're able to get in person, as well as the philanthropic. We have our weekly links networking. So many of you have been to that. Every week at 7:30, we typically have almost 80 people that are faithfully on our networking, very lively, engaging program. DeAndre works with our links chair, Lisa Hammett, to provide a exceptional, well-run program. You get 30-second commercials. You get to get your company out there in front of 79 other engaged chamber members. Out of all the chambers in our community, we have always the most attendees, and I feel like we have the most fun while we're networking. So great opportunity. DeAndre is the person that will send you the Zoom information each week. She sends the chat afterwards, and lots of great ways to get connected there. We have a very active Senior Service Alliance, and that's a program that provides connections for industries and people that work with the senior community, whether it's estate planning, whether it's real estate, whether it's medical, whether it's residential programs and services. They meet the second Friday at 8:30. So it's exceptional opportunity if you cater to seniors. Obviously, Debbie, Parkinson's. I know my mom has Parkinson's, so definitely a great group for you to consider checking out for sure. We have a Women's Alliance of McKinney. They're going to be doing a really fun shop, walk, and wine kind of virtual event this December. But they have a women's conference. They have quarterly lunch and learns. Exceptional opportunity to connect with other women in the chamber and in the community. And then last, we have our Government and Legislative Issues Committee. We've obviously, you guys know what's happening, obviously national politics, local politics, but what we focus on is really, as a chamber, we're advocating for business legislation that's business friendly here in McKinney. We just released our legislative priorities. We work very closely with the city. We have a legislative consultant, and basically we're utilizing the resources and working together with the city and the school district to make sure McKinney's needs are represented with our growing city. Lots of important needs that we want to stay in front of. So if you're interested in that, they meet the first Friday at 8:15. So you can see, even though we're virtual, there's so many things happening in the chamber, lots of ways for you to get connected. And I'm highlighting just two of our many virtual events. And we have our weekly networking that I talked about. So again, up to 80 participants, guests are welcome. We have sponsorship opportunities and things like that so that you can give a 10-minute commercial. And then we do have our shop, walk, and wine. Typically, we do it in person on the square. But now that we're really not gathering in big groups, we're going to do kind of a website that's going to highlight all the many restaurants and businesses that have things to offer our community. And I feel like Cinnaholic, I'd be all over you guys doing some sort of a special on this kind of thing so that we can encourage not just our members, but we're going to encourage the entire community to support local. So we're partnering with the McKinney Community Development Corporation, Visit McKinney, the Chamber, and our Craig Ranch Fitness is going to create this web page that will help spread the word. But our Women's Alliance and McKinney are the ones that are spearheading this effort. Okay, I'm gonna pass the torch to Keith King. Keith hopped on our call, and Keith will talk about our digital marketing benefits. And I really want you guys to pay close attention because lots of opportunities here.
Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, good. Well, like Kathy just said, my name's Keith. I'm the communications manager here at the Chamber. And we have quite a bit of marketing materials that are at your fingertips. So our first thing that I'll go over is our websites. We have three. The McKinney Back to Business is our kind of newest one that we put together after COVID. And the point of this one really is to help the area get back to business. There's a lot of information on there from
videos to links to third-party websites like the governor's website and plans for reopening. We have links to hospitals. We have links to like the CDC and all sorts of just good information for businesses in particular to just digest and help them reopen, get back to business, whether it's downloading a sign that says masks are required or whatever, all that stuff is there. It's a fantastic website. I highly recommend you check that out. We try to keep it updated and consistent with what you're seeing in the news and whatnot. So highly recommend you check that one out. McKinneyChamber.com is our traditional website for the chamber. It's very business centric, and on that one you'll find some of the traditional things like about us and stuff like that, and we'll go over. DeAndre will go over these a little bit more in depth, but here you can have the opportunity to log into your account and just make sure that your account looks good, people notice it, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, if you're hiring in the community and you want to post a job, there's a place for you to do that as well on our chamber website. So there's just a whole bunch of things that you can do, and it's really easy to start putting together. McKinneyOnline.com is more of a community-centric website. I like to describe it as a news website, and this is a website where you can post press releases, you can post some blogs. We have an area where you can put events, or even if you have maybe a sale that's going on or going to be going on, or you just want to treat the community to something, we have a tab where you can put deals. But the McKinney Online is great for just reaching the community in just a broader sense of the term, because you don't have to be a member of any particular thing. You can just go on here. If anyone is interested in going to McKinney and they want to see kind of what's going on, they can log on to McKinneyOnline.com and check it out. This website, certainly before COVID, and it's coming back now, was really big with events. People, and you can tell by the analytics, but people would always come on a Thursday or a Friday, visit the website to see what's going on in McKinney, because we had a lot of members posting, whether it's restaurants or bars or
what if a play is going on, or some sort of seminar. A lot of these people, members, businesses would be posting things like that, and it's coming back. So if you guys have anything going on, I'd highly recommend you posting that under the events. If you have any news releases, I highly recommend you upload those. There are requirements, of course, that you have to follow in order to get these blogs or news releases posted. And I'm somewhat the gatekeeper, I guess, for McKinneyOnline.com. So if something doesn't look right, you'll find me reaching out to you. So, but McKinney Online is a great place to post stuff and reach the broader community. Social media. As Kathy mentioned, we have over 20,000 total, like across all of the platforms, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of them. Over 20,000, probably over 21,000 or 22,000 now total. Followers, fans, whatever the various things that people who follow you are called across the social media platforms. But so for example, I was just talking about McKinney Online. So McKinneyOnline.com has a Facebook page. And if you post a blog, post something on McKinney Online, even an event, we will share that event, that blog on McKinney Online on social media, on McKinneyOnline.com social media page, Facebook page. And that has roughly 5,000, 6,000, something like that, followers and likes. So not only do you get your content on McKinneyOnline.com, which will get probably 2,000 to 3,000 page views every week, you also get it posted on Facebook and in front of the eyeballs of roughly 5,000 people. We also, the chamber page has over 11,000 likes today, and that is great. We like highlighting businesses who are members. If they're mentioned in the news, if they're doing something good, we will certainly share that on our social media. Instagram, we're using Instagram more and more with the stories, with getting word out there that of events that we're doing, of events that you may be involved with in some capacity, and you're very likely to get noticed that way. If you tag, and this goes with really any of the social media, but tagging us, trying to get our attention, and we get tagged a lot. So it's not, if you don't see us respond right away, it's not necessarily that we didn't like it or anything like that. It's just that got lost in the shuffle and stuff like that. So, but we have Twitter, and that's more of a site for just kind of it's traditionally Twitter is used for a lot. You can post a lot of tweets a day, and that's kind of what it's just for. So if we're doing an event and we're live tweeting the event, that'll be something that you can find there. And of course, if you're involved in some way, tagging you, if we're doing something with you, of course, tagging you through that as well. So that's a great way that we use Twitter. And LinkedIn is something that we've also used a lot more recently since I've come aboard. And it's just we like reaching businesses through there. And if you got some sort of like business centric article, or I mean, LinkedIn is fantastic for that kind of thing, and that's what we're growing on LinkedIn, and it's a very good way to reach the business community. And then YouTube, of course, we're using that a lot more as well, posting videos such as this one and other events that you may attend or pay, like what you can do that you couldn't do pre-COVID that you can do now is, if you're interested, you can, and in an event or in a program that we have that you can't attend at the time, you can purchase it to watch later on your own time, or you can purchase it after the fact and then watch it then. So it's, YouTube is a site that we're using more and more and growing as well. more ways that you can get noticed outside of social media, because social media is just one aspect of it, really. We have a monthly e-newsletter, and McKinney Online has a weekly member digest. Monthly newsletter goes out to, I want to say, over 3,000 people. The weekly member digest through McKinney Online goes out to about like 6,000 people. So that is a really good way to get eyeballs on, if you're, for example, promoting an event with us, that would, the weekly members digest for events, for example. On the bottom part of that email, we just post all the events going from that Friday through the next Thursday. So have an event coming up, highly recommend you post. Again, that's just another reason to post on McKinney Online. We have the 1 minute member spotlight video that we can post on Facebook, and that's for new members. And you have a 1 minute video, has to be 1 minute or under, and you produce it, you direct it, whatever, edit it, send it to us. We will schedule a time for it to go up on Facebook. And that's a great way of welcoming you to our community and the McKinney Chamber Facebook page community as well. We have something new that we started after COVID, is the new member connection with our ambassadors. And that's a really great way of learning about who our ambassadors are and telling them about your business and how they can help you, and just spreading the word about who you are. We also have a 30-second complimentary KLAK commercial that you can take advantage of. Highly recommend this. It will be professionally, produced and all that. I think this is a great way of reaching people who aren't necessarily online that often and things like that. And it's something that I highly recommend you take advantage of, at least strongly think about it. As I mentioned before, the hot deals, and these are both on our chamber page. We have the job posting board and then hot deals, basically just deals that you want people to take advantage of. Blogs and press releases through McKinney Online are a very good way to reach people. Again, if we're in a few minutes, we're going to explain how to create your McKinney Online profile and make it look all jazzy and nice. This is where you would then put your blogs, your press releases, to reach the masses. And I highly recommend you do that content marketing because, again, McKinney Online does get a lot of page views. And then last but not least, that member chamber logo that you see on the right there, that is available to download on mckinneychamber.com through the member, the back end, the member side. And I believe we have window clings that you can display in your shop front window, or if you drive around a lot, maybe a car or something like that. So those are definitely ways. All of those are ways you can get noticed, mainly outside of the social media realm, but highly recommend you take advantage of that because we can certainly help.
Thank you, Keith. So I'm just going to talk real quickly about some of our advertising opportunities. We're just finishing up with our map sales. We produce a map that's very popular. So if you have a location you want to be highlighted with the map, we're closing out December 1st, pretty affordable opportunity. And it's distributed throughout the community. Visit McKinney, lots of places in the community. We also are getting ready to produce our relocation guide, and you can see there's a picture of it right down here. It's a welcome to the community, but also a membership directory. So we are in the midst of providing advertising opportunities there, from $600 to a couple thousand for cover prime location, but a great way to get in front of new people coming to the community, but also people that are here that want to do business with our members and things like that. We do a senior resource guide. We just closed out the advertising for that. So we are going to be publishing that, and it will go out in the December community impact. So if you're interested in that for next year, let us know. There is online advertising. So DeAndre, when you go over the websites, if you can pull up McKinney Back to Business too and just highlight that, that would be great, because we'll show you, you'll see on McKinney Online and McKinney Back to Business, with all the traffic we get, great opportunity for exposure on both of those. And there's price points from $650 a month down to about $100 a month. And we do have a couple opportunities to advertise on our e-newsletter from the Chamber. We've sold out of that for the year, but if you're interested in that for 2021, please let Keith or I know. And now I'm going to pass the torch. One last thing, I guess, is just, we do have some ways for you to reach out to the community directly. We have new resident lists that you can purchase for direct mail. And then we have monthly new resident bag stuffing opportunities for you. And then we do have an all member mailing list if you want to contact members directly. It's free if you're at the investor partner and above. So DeAndre can share more about that with you if you have questions about that.